Subscribe to the channel and also press the bell icon to never miss an update from Endeavour Careers.
Hello and welcome to Endeavour's GK Capsule for the month of September 2019. News from the field of economy were the flavor of this month, with government trying multiple things to prop up the slowing Indian economy. These steps include announcing a reduction in the corporate tax rate and the merger of public sector banks, etc. Let's look at these and other news highlights of the month. The first category is awards and recognitions. Bollywood's mega star Amitabh Bachchan has been selected for Dada Saheb Phalke Award for the year 2018. It was exactly 5 decades ago that Big B made his cinema debut with the film Saath Hindustani, released in 1969. And since then, there is no looking back for the legend. From Zanjeer to Namak Haram to Abhiman to Chupke Chupke, Big B proved his versatility with each of his films. Dada Saheb Phalke is India's highest award in the field of cinema. It is presented annually by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in the memory of Dada Saheb Phalke, who is popularly known as the father of Indian cinema. Dada Saheb Phalke was a filmmaker who directed India's first full-length feature film, Raja Harishchandra, in 1913. Amitabh Bachchan was awarded for his contribution to the Indian film industry. Before this, Amitabh Bachchan has also won national awards for Best Actor for his performances in Agnipath, Black, Pa and Piku. He was also awarded with the Padma Shri in 1984, Padma Bhushan in 2001 and Padma Vibhushan in 2015. Another set of cinema awards presented this month were IFA Awards. IFA Awards, or the International Indian Film Academy Awards, are annual awards presented to artists and technicians in Bollywood. This was the 20th year of IFA Awards, and therefore, first time ever the award ceremony was held in India in Mumbai on 18th September. Film Razi won 4 awards, while Andhadhun and Padmavat received 2 awards each. Razi, directed by Meghna Gulzar, was declared the best film. Alia Bhatt bagged Best Actress Award for the film. The Best Actor Award was received by Ranveer Singh for the film Padmavat. Ishan Khattar was awarded the Best Debut Male Award for the film Dhadak, while Sara Ali Khan was awarded the Best Debut Female for the film Kedarnath. Hrithik Roshan's debut movie Kaho Na Pyar Hai has been declared as the best film in the last 20 years. Here's a list of other major winners. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was conferred the Global Goalkeeper Award for his leadership in Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. The award was presented by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in New York during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the USA. The Global Goalkeepers Awards are given to individuals who are taking action to achieve Sustainable Development Goals 2030 declared by the United Nations. Prime Minister Modi launched Swachh Bharat Abhiyan on Gandhi Jayanti in 2014. Under the mission, the central government kept the target of making India open defecation free by 2019. More than 11 crore toilets were built in the country under this mission. The next category is persons in news. Kristalina Georgieva of Bulgaria has been appointed as the new managing director of International Monetary Fund. She assumed her position on 1st October. She succeeded Christine Lagarde, who left the position to become the new president of European Central Bank. This makes Kristalina the second woman MD of IMF. She is also the first person from an emerging economy to head the IMF. Kristalina is an economist and a former CEO of World Bank. She will face a host of challenges as the head of IMF, including a global economic slowdown triggered by escalating trade tension between the United States and China. Climate activist Greta Thunberg showed displeasure against the world leaders for failing to address climate change concerns during her speech at 2019 UN Climate Action Summit in New York. "We will be watching you," the young activist said sharply in her opening address to the world leaders attending the UN Climate Change Summit. She continued her speech almost shaking in anger by saying, "You have stolen my dreams, my childhood with your empty words." Her words, "How dare you," became the trending topic on social media. Greta is a 16-year-old environmental activist from Sweden. In August 2018, she took time off school to protest outside the Swedish parliament, calling for stronger climate action. Following her, many students organize similar protests in their communities. She organizes a school climate strike movement every week under the name Fridays for Future. She was featured on the cover of Time magazine in May 2019. Jack Ma, the billionaire who started the e-commerce revolution in China, stepped down from his position as the chairman of Alibaba Group. Jack Ma had co-founded Alibaba in 1999, and under his leadership, the company grew up to become world's largest retailer and e-commerce company. The current market capitalization of Alibaba is around $460 billion. It is also one of the world's biggest venture capital firms and investment corporations. The company hosts the largest online marketplace Alibaba, Taobao, and Tmall marketplaces. With a net worth of $40 billion, Jack Ma is the richest man in China. A former English teacher, he has often talked about his passion for education. In fact, the date that Jack Ma chose to retire, 10th September, is Teachers' Day in China. In his retirement, Jack Ma is devoting himself full-time to philanthropy. He started Jack Ma Foundation in 2014 and cited the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation as an inspiration for his philanthropic endeavors. Air Marshal Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadauria has been appointed as the next Chief of the Indian Air Force. RKS Bhadauria is currently the Vice Chief of Air Staff. As the Vice Chief, he was the chairman of the Indian negotiating team for 36 Rafale fighter jets deal with France. He succeeded Air Chief Marshal B.S. Dhanoa as the 26th Chief of Indian Air Force. Senior advocate and former Union Law Minister Ram Jethmalani passed away on 8 September. He was 95 years old. Jethmalani's career was marked by several high-profile cases. He repeatedly proved his mettle in the courtroom, particularly with his techniques of cross-examination of witnesses, making him one of the highest-paid lawyers in the country. Born in 1923, he received his LLB and LLM degree from the Bombay University. After partition, he moved from Karachi to Bombay. His spectacular journey began when he became involved in the famous Nanavati murder case of 1962. The Nanavati case put him on a legal journey that would overlap with politics and events. From Haji Mastan to assassins of Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi to the accused in 2G scam case, Jethmalani has been involved in many high-profile cases. He also served as the Union Minister of Law and Urban Development in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. The next category is Places in News. Indonesia has announced to shift its current capital from Jakarta on Java Island to a new city of Kalimantan on Borneo Island. Jakarta is a climate-threatened city as 40% of the city is below sea level. It has some of the world's worst air pollution and traffic congestion. Kalimantan is almost 4 times bigger than Jakarta. It is situated on Borneo Island, which is the third largest island in the world and the largest in Asia. India's first garbage cafe was opened in Ambikapur, which is a small city located in Sarguja district of Chhattisgarh. In this unique cafe, poor people and rag pickers will get free food in exchange for 1 kg of plastic waste. The garbage collected through this cafe will be turned into granules used in the construction of roads. Ambikapur has jumped 15 places to become the second cleanest city in the country in Swachh Bharat Rankings 2019. All 48 wards of Ambikapur are dustbin free. The city has an efficient solid waste management system. Let us now look at the major highlights in the category of national news. Assam government has released the final list of National Register of Citizens or NRC on 31st August. NRC is a list of all legitimate citizens of Assam. The list was compiled in 1951 and was currently being updated. 31st August 2019 was the last date to finalize the updated NRC list. The objective of this updation was to retain bona fide citizens in the state and to identify illegal Bengali immigrants. The demand for updating NRC was first raised by All Assam Students Union or AASU in 1979. This movement led to a 6-year-long anti-foreigner protests and violence in Assam. Finally, in 1985, an Assam Accord was signed between the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and the leaders of Assam. Under this accord, 24th March 1971 was chosen as the cut-off date to identify illegal immigrants. In the current round of updation, out of the total population of approximately 3.1 crore people of Assam, over 19 lakh people are excluded from the final NRC list. This has led to a huge political controversy as many people excluded are of Bengali, Bihari, Gurkha or UP origin. Though Union government has clarified that those who are left out of NRC list will not be declared foreigners and will not be detained immediately. Such excluded people will have the option to present their case before foreigners tribunals and then the High Court and the Supreme Court. The Union government has announced a complete ban on e-cigarettes in the country. It means the production, sale, manufacturing and also advertising of e-cigarettes will be illegal. E-cigarettes are nicotine delivery devices that do not burn tobacco. Instead, they vaporize a nicotine solution using battery. This vapor is then inhaled by the user. The government has announced a fine of 1 lakh rupees and a jail term for 1 year for the first-time violators. For repeat offenders, punishment can get up to 3 years of imprisonment and rupees 5 lakhs of fine. During his week-long trip to USA, Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with President Donald Trump attended an event organized by Indian American community on 22nd September. The event was hosted at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. The event was titled Howdy Modi, Shared Dreams, Bright Futures. Around 50,000 Indian Americans attended the event. The event highlighted the new levels of closeness in India-USA bilateral relations. However, the event also became controversial after Indian-American comedian Hasan Minhaj was denied entry in the stadium, allegedly over some of his jokes on Prime Minister Modi. Pro-Pakistan and pro-Kashmir groups also staged protests outside the venue. Two major oil production facilities of Saudi Arabia came under drone attacks in early hours of 14 September. It was one of the deadliest attacks on Saudi Arabia in the recent times, destroying nearly 50% of its global crude oil supply. The Houthi rebel group based in Yemen has claimed the responsibility for the attack, but the United States, which is a key ally of Saudi Arabia, has blamed Iran for the attack. In a statement, Saudi government's oil company, Saudi Aramco, said that the damage caused by the attack would cut the country's oil output by approximately 6 million barrels per day. This may result in a surge in the global crude oil prices. With the growing hostilities between Saudi Arabia and Iran, with involvement of Yemen and USA, the Gulf is facing a new threat to its peace and stability. The next category is business and economy. In a bid to boost private investment, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced reduction in corporate tax rates on 20th September. Corporate tax rate has been reduced to 22% from the earlier 30%. The tax cut will be effective from 1st April 2019. Already established domestic companies are now required to pay 22% corporate tax. With inclusion of cess and surcharge, the effective tax rate will be 25.17%. For the new domestic manufacturing companies incorporated after 1st October 2019, tax rate is reduced even further to 15%. This decision is expected to boost investment and employment generation. In other related measures, the minimum alternate tax or MAT rate has been cut from 18.5% to 15%. Listed companies which announced share buyback before 5th July 2019 will not be required to pay tax on buyback of shares. However, corporate tax rate cut would lead to a loss of revenue up to 1.5 lakh crore rupees annually to the government. This is approximately 1% of India's GDP. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced the merger of 10 public sector banks into each other. After the completion of this merger deal, These 10 government banks will be organized into only 4 banks. These 4 will be Punjab National Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, and United Bank of India as the first merged unit, Canara Bank and Syndicate Bank as the second unit, Union Bank of India, Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank as the third unit, and Indian Bank and Allahabad Bank as the fourth merged unit. Apart from these 4 merged banks, 6 more banks will continue to work independently. These are Bank of India, Central Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank, UCO Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, and Punjab and Sindh Bank. In a similar move earlier in 2017, all the entities of State Bank of India were merged into one, and Bank of Baroda, Dena Bank and Vijaya Bank were merged as another single entity. Hence, after the current announcement, the number of public sector banks in India will come down from 27 to 12. The Central Board of RBI has decided to transfer 1.76 lakh crore rupees out of its reserve to the central government. The decision was taken on the recommendation of Bimal Jalan Committee. The transfer of reserves was a bone of contention between RBI and government. A committee of experts headed by former RBI Governor Bimal Jalan was appointed in December last year to settle the matter. The current transfer of reserve was done as per the revised economic capital framework suggested by the committee. The customers of PMC Bank received a shocker on 24th September when a message from their bank revealed that RBI has put a ban on withdrawal of money from the bank accounts for 6 months. When RBI puts a bank under its directions, the banking operations are taken over by RBI. Bank's board of directors is dissolved. RBI directions on PMC Bank was placed after the regulator found irregularities in giving loans. PMC or Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank is a bank popular with low-income groups. Its headquarters is in Mumbai and it has close to 140 branches spread across 6 states. The trouble started in the bank as 73% of PMC's total loan was given to just one borrower, the HDIL Group. HDIL or Housing Development and Infrastructure Limited is a Mumbai-based real estate developer. HDIL Group has earlier filed for bankruptcy. RBI is trying to work out a solution for the PMC Bank customers. Meanwhile, police has arrested the directors of HDIL Group, Rakesh Wadhwan and Sarang Wadhwan. In the news from the field of science and technology this month, India's ambitious Chandrayaan-2 mission could not be successfully completed in the final stage, when its Vikram lander failed to soft land on the lunar surface. Chandrayaan-2 was launched on 22nd July. It comprised an orbiter which was to revolve around the moon, a lander named Vikram, and a rover named Pragyan. The Vikram lander detached from orbiter on 2nd September and was scheduled to land on the dark side of the moon on 7th September. However, just minutes before the landing, ISRO lost communication with the Vikram lander. The lander was approximately at an altitude of 2 kilometers from the lunar surface when its communication with the ground station broke off. The 14-day window for ISRO to establish contact with the Vikram lander ended on 20th September. ISRO Chairman K. Sivan has set up a committee to find out the causes for this communication failure. 8 Apache combat helicopters were inducted into Indian Air Force in September. Apache A864E is one of the world's most advanced attack helicopters with multi-role combat capabilities. It is capable of delivering a variety of weapons including Hellfire missile, Hydra rockets and air-to-air Stinger missile. India had signed a multi-billion-dollar contract for 22 of these helicopters with the US government and the American aircraft manufacturer Boeing in 2015. The IAF received the first Apache helicopter from Boeing in May 2019. The IAF is expected to operate all 22 Apache combat helicopters by 2020. The helicopters will provide a major boost to combat capabilities of the Indian Air Force. The next category is sports news. The fourth and final Grand Slam tennis event of the year, the US Open, concluded on 8th September. The tournament is played on hard court in New York in August-September every year. Novak Djokovic and Naomi Osaka were the men's and women's single champions. Neither managed to defend their title. Rafael Nadal won the men's singles title after defeating Daniil Medvedev of Russia. It was the 19th Grand Slam title for Nadal, and he is now just one short of Roger Federer's 20 titles. In women's singles category, Bianca Andreescu won the title defeating Serena Williams in the final. She became the first Canadian to win a Grand Slam singles title. However, for Indians, the major highlight of US Open 2019 was Sumit Nagal. The 22-year-old boy from Haryana became the first ever Indian tennis player to win a set against tennis great Roger Federer. He defeated Roger Federer in the first set in their first round match in the US Open 2019. However, Federer bounced back and won the remaining 3 sets in the match. Sumit Nagal has become the youngest Indian to play in the main draw of a Grand Slam. Lionel Messi won the Best FIFA Player of the Year award for a record 6th time. Messi won Spanish La Liga title with Barcelona last season, as well as the European Golden Boot, having scored 54 goals. However, he did not enjoy success with the national team, losing in the Copa America semi-finals to rivals Brazil. Messi has won FIFA Best Player title in 2009, 10, 11, 12, 15 and now in 19. Cristiano Ronaldo has won the title 5 times. Virat Kohli has become India's most successful Test captain after the Indian team won the Test series against West Indies. It was India's 28th win in 48 Tests, led by Virat Kohli. He has surpassed Mahendra Singh Dhoni, led by India in 27 of 60 Test matches. Sourav Ganguly is third on the list and Mohammad Azharuddin is fourth. In the end, let us look at some other miscellaneous news items. Moti Bagh, a documentary based on an Uttarakhand farmer's life, has been nominated for the Oscars. The documentary film, directed by Nirmal Chandar Dandriyal, is based on the life of a farmer called Vidya Dutt, who belongs to a remote village in Uttarakhand. The film throws light on the issue of migration of people from villages. The film highlights how Uttarakhand has witnessed migration in disturbing proportions, with villages after villages lying empty. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has crossed the mark of 50 million followers on his Twitter account, becoming the third most followed world leader after Barack Obama with 108 million followers and Donald Trump with 64 million followers. Indian Defence Forces conducted 3 separate joint exercises in the month of September. These were Yudh Abhyas with US Army, Maitri with the Army of Thailand, and Sitmax, which was a trilateral exercise with navies of India, Thailand and Singapore. With this, we have come to the end of this video. We hope you liked the coverage of topics in our monthly GK capsules. Kindly drop in your suggestions and feedback in the comment box below. Do also watch our other videos. Happy learning. Thank you.